All right, thank you for staying with me. As they say in life, challenges are part of life. It's obvious, either as an individual, a group, corporate entity, or in our case, a nation, and even globally, challenges are part of life. But then it is one thing to be facing challenges. It is another thing to, acknowledge that yes, this is a challenge and there are challenges, and maybe they are self-inflicted, or those challenges have come as a matter of influences beyond, the capacity of the person facing that challenge. Staying true to finding a cause to a challenge, knowing where it's coming from, is very essential in seeking solution to that challenge. So, what am I saying? I'm saying Nigeria is being challenged right now on all fronts. That is a fact. Economically speaking, the security situation, even within from the subnationals to the national as well. So, where does this put us? The leader at this time, at least for the next 3 years or thereabout, is President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He has the mandate of the people for 4 years. Either will be seeking re-election or will be standing down. That's another conversation. But he has the people's mandate, constitutionally guaranteed. The Supreme Court has affirmed that. And now, whatever happens in Nigeria, he will first be asked these questions. By the way, he told us before the elections, don't pity me. I asked for this job. I begged for it. You have given me, and I will do my best. And whatever happens, he will always be asked the questions. So when he's been asked questions and his handlers have been asked questions and it looks that they are deflecting, many Nigerians will say, hold on, this is not a promise. This money, we are looking at Nigeria on that, in the last 1 year and the state of the nation right now. The thing I said, as I said in my introduction earlier, is this issue of protest. What is causing it? Why is there a call for it at this time? The pros, the antis on different sides. And of course, even within the people, within the ruling party in the nation, some of them acknowledge, yes, there are challenges, but maybe there are ways to handle it. This morning, I've been joined by a public affairs analyst, of course, and he is the convener of the Renewed Hope Media. He's a member of the APC as well. And I call him a man on assignment. Olalekan Oni joins me live in the studio. Good morning.
Yeah, I'm pleased to be here this morning.
Very well. Good to see you in person.
Same here.
By the way.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah. And, let's talk about your nation, my nation, Nigeria. The leadership under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the leader right now.
Yes.
Undoubtedly. Confirmed, guaranteed, at least for the 4 years. He has the mandate of the people. You worked for the party. You worked for him. You worked for the belief that you had in his leadership.
Yes.
And 12, 13 months after, with the current state of this nation, did you envisage that Nigeria is going to be this point?
Well, the truth of the matter is that I never saw that things will be as tough as this. And that's the truth. And I also don't think that even President Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself never saw that things would be this very tough and very hard. And you will see that one of the lessons for me personally is that when you are not inside, you are not inside. No matter how close you are to the door, you are still outside. What that means is that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu was close to the Muhammadu Buhari-led administration, but he was not inside. What it means is that he never knew that probably things have gone bad. And when it comes to government, that some of his decisions will lead to some of the hardship Nigerians are facing presently. But one of the good things is that the president is also not shying away from everything that is happening. Every time he comes and says that I am aware of the hardship, I am aware of the hunger, I am aware of the insecurity, and this is what we are doing, this is what we will do, and so on and so forth. So nobody, maybe some people anywhere, somewhere, knows that it will be this hard. One of the understanding we had then was that, one of the campaign promises or policies were that subsidy will be removed. But we never knew that that subsidy removal will take us to where we are presently. So it's not something that I envisage, and I want to feel or believe that Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu himself never saw that it would be this hard.
Wouldn't that be convenient? You know, we are speaking frankly this morning, as we usually do. Wouldn't that be convenient? And you trying to exonerate the president from saying he didn't know the amount, the kind of work that he's getting himself into. I said something, and you know it's the truth. I said, don't pity me. I begged for this job.
Yes.
I traveled around this country to beg for your mandate. You have given it to me.
Yes.
I will do the work.
Don't pity me.
Yeah. Now that this is the situation, you know, many persons, for supporters of Asiwaju, even for some that might not like his politics, they know maybe he has something slightly ahead of maybe other politicians. He has said he has the ability to forecast. He has the ability to do so many things. And, you know, as a big politician, he has his people, he has his eyes and his ears around the villa. Even some of these people were there. Yes, he might not be the person there. But with what has happened right now, you are trying to say maybe he didn't know how enormous this nation is. And that's why maybe so many persons said, we keep banding that appellation around as the person who changed the face of Lagos. And, you know, during election, many persons were saying, this is not Lagos. Nigeria is beyond the center of excellence. It's quite a complex state, and maybe he's seeing it right now. But I believe his supporters, like yourself and many persons, are saying, if he can be prosperous, if he could have done all he did in Lagos and given Lagos a blueprint, he could as well done it in Nigeria. Is this showing now that maybe President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, as you have said, I didn't know how it would be this difficult?
Yes.
Maybe he's overwhelmed already.
No, he's not overwhelmed. What I mean is that truly Lagos is just half of Nigeria economically. Don't forget, Lagos is half of Nigeria economy. If you check the economics of Nigeria, majority, like half of the revenue and all of that, Lagos is the commercial hub center of Nigeria. Lagos is not Nigeria, fact. But we cannot say one of the things
but
that
you people apt on that Lagos and
we
Lagos
did.
before the election.
I did.
See what it was.
What I used to say then
now.
was it was a litmus test. No, people progress in life.
It seems that test
in
has
different.
failed.
It has not failed. You gave him 4 years mandate.
Yeah.
Not 1 year mandate.
Nigerians did.
Yes. That's why I say you probably if you vote, but Nigerians gave him 4 years mandate. And at the end of the day, Bola Ahmed Tinubu will be judged by what happened, or what he did, or what he did not do by 4 years. So you cannot say the mandate has failed after 13 months.
No, we talked about the litmus test.
Yes, I said Lagos was a litmus test for him. What it means is that everybody needs, in his or her career, there's a progression in your career. You move from one place to the other. And that's why when people are seeking for a job, they ask you for your curriculum vitae.
Right.
Where are you coming from? What have you done before? For us to give you a higher role, you must have been in a particular role before. Maybe must have been an assistant manager before we give you a managerial role. So that's what we campaigned on, that Lagos, this is what Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done in Lagos, and this is where he left Lagos, this is the progression in Lagos. So if you are going to say that probably either Bola Tinubu has failed or he's successful about the project Nigeria.
I'm saying maybe he's overwhelmed.
He's not overwhelmed. Has he run away from his responsibilities?
He can't.
He can't. So the man keeps coming out and keeps saying that, see, this is where we are. I understand this is what is going on in the country. This is what we are doing. This is what we will do.
But you
and this is what...
Yeah, Olalekan, talk to me. You know, many Nigerians hoped for something better, really.
Yes.
Many persons, even beyond the APC, there are many persons who voted for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, not even as an APC member.
Yes.
They just feel, okay, you know, different sentiment.
Yes.
Some believed in his political ideology.
Yes.
Some believed because he's from the Southwest. So many reasons why he was voted for. You as a person, you have said you never envisaged this. The president maybe, probably never envisaged this. Do you feel embarrassed when you're talking with people that you went to canvass, vote for? Media outlets like these, you are present almost everywhere, especially around this side, the Southwest. with what we are seeing right now, do you feel, oh, my leader has embarrassed me?
No, I have never felt embarrassed. I am not feeling embarrassed, and I will never feel embarrassed because I understand some of this process. Some of this process even happens in our individual lives. So definitely to happen in a national life. I said earlier that if you are not inside, you are not inside.
Right.
So there's things that led to all of these things. And when you have an understanding of some of the things that led to these things, there is no way this process. One of the issues is that sometimes we want to circumvent the process. You pass through the process. Some of the process is that there will be pains before the gain. And some of Nigeria, if you listen to what Femi Ojo said, he made some, in his last interview, was it on Channels? I think it was on Channels. And he made some, brought papers, gave figures, gave some explanation and all of this. So there is a process. Nigeria is passing through this process with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, economically, especially economically. And after, the only way I will feel embarrassed is that after all this process, at the end of the day, there are no results. And I believe that in the process of life, when you do 1, 2, 3 things, you are meant to land in number 4 or number 5, right? Which is, which is the gains, which is success, and which is victory at the end of the day.
Right. You talked about people trusting the process. And I would say in 4 years, he has used like 13, 14 months.
Yes.
And if trusting the process is like this, the first year, the first quarter of his administration, this mandate is gone. And we are here. And people are pained. People are hungry. Getting to the point of being angry. In fact, people are angry. I know. I hope you know. And it's not even by protest.
An angry man is an angry man now.
Definitely. And these are being caused by those hardline policies of the government, that the government handlers have been saying it's compulsory that we do this, that we take these things. But it's looking like, yes, you might have a good intention, but maybe some of these policies are failing. And I'll tell you why. The discontinuation of the payment of subsidy on, petroleum, PMS rather, many persons will say, yes, many presidential candidates agreed to that. But, not many of them gave us the blueprint. That yes, Asiwaju came, and on his first day, we have just talked about the benefit of being an insider. Was it an insider? He hasn't seen the books. He believes that this is something that cannot go on. And without plan, no cabinet, no conversation with anybody at that point, officially speaking, he just went ahead and said, subsidy payment is gone. How many persons are saying there wasn't provision? I usually tell them there was provision till June of 2023, the first half of 2023, that was confirmed. And he came on May 29 and said that. And just before the end of that day, everything, skyrocketed, and we are here right now. Maybe for the benefit of hindsight, many persons will say, Bola Tinubu never had a plan, official plan, that this is what I'm going to do. The intention might be noble, it might be general, just like some presidential candidates say, we are going to do this, but there was no plan. And meanwhile, maybe that's why we are here. He has refused to pay it because he believes subsidy is a scam and it should not be paid. But the plans he has been rolling out, obviously, you and I know, it has been failing. Number 2 is the flouting of the naira. Okay, we don't want to have different rates. It should be official. No bureau de change, no aboki rate, and then with that flouting, we are still oscillating between 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. And somebody will say, is that the true value of the naira? Speak to those two things.
One is what? About the subsidy payment that has failed.
They abrupt discontinuation, the removal of the subsidy without any concrete plan.
Yes.
And number 2, the flouting of the naira that the government talked about, which has shown it hasn't helped in any way.
All right. For the subsidy removal, has there been gains? And I would say yes. Because, because one of the issues we've had is that Nigerians, who has the right, all Nigerians, including me, including you, to complain. But you see, and that's why I said I've not been embarrassed, because I don't have any government appointment presently, but I have been able to sit down. One of the things I do is that if I look at, issues holistically. So what I have seen so far is that a lot of people look at the bad side of all the policies. I said a lot of people, and then sit down and check if there are any, good side to it. One of the good side and gains of subsidy is this. For Nigeria and from the federal government, there has been increase, and this is one of the things Bola Tinubu said. I think he did a nationwide broadcast some times ago, and one of the things that has been happening on is that we are paying subsidy into the pockets of few Nigerians. When we stop this, as we have stopped this, let's make this money useful to majority of Nigerians. How? There will be more revenue that will accrue to the government, and after that, we have more money to do more things. Because another excuse that was given, another thing that was said was that even the last administration was even borrowing. Nigerians complained about the last administration, the way they have been borrowing and borrowing and borrowing and borrowing. And if you look at
which was still the APC, by the way.
Yes, nobody's doubting that. But it was the last administration.
Right.
So people were complaining that Nigerians are borrowing. And the government of that day said that one of the reasons is that the revenue is low. There were figures of monies that were paid in subsidies then. And the government of Bola Tinubu said, I will remove subsidy. And now that I have removed subsidy, we have more money to do more things for Nigerians. And not that few people will collect the money and go. So what I'm saying is that one of the gains is that there have been more money for the federal government. There have been more money for the state government. And now there have been more money for the local government, which is expected for accelerated progress. If all of this money are used judiciously by state governments, by the federal government, and by the local government of Nigeria, things will get better. So we cannot say, or I cannot say, and I disagree with anybody who says that the subsidy removal has failed. It has not failed. There are good sides to it. Now, the bad sides is that this increase in petroleum price has caused inflation. We know how our country works. Increased fuel price today, everything will jump up. Right? It's automatic. In fact, the day fuel subsidy is gone, the following day I was in Abeokuta, May 30. All retail outlets, all filling station closed down. In fact, people said that same day, immediately was announced, I didn't buy fuel that day, that they bought fuel 500 naira immediately. Even the fuel they had in their dump, So we know that's how it is.
That's one of the misgivings. I will allow you to land on your thought. But that's one of the misgivings of many persons, especially those who held Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in high esteem, talking about his experience, that you already know how we do, how we behave. The people issue that you have just spoken to in this country, you don't dare mention such a thing without you knowing that the repercussion will be immediate.
No,
and that's why, hold on, that's why they are blaming him. You're supposed to have gotten into power, know how people will react. So immediately they react that way, you roll out your buffer.
I disagree. You know why I disagree?
How so?
If somebody has a character issue, you don't blame it on me. We have issues of...
We're not talking about personal individuals.
No, you are saying... I'm just giving an example. So you said...
Because it's a system.
No, you said that because...
You know how the system
because people
will
behave this way. No, because people behave this way, we shouldn't make policies. Where I'm going is this. You are saying
government can always roll out policies...
No, government cannot...
Without looking at how it will impact the
people. We also have a duty. And the duty is that we have to be patriotic. One of the reasons why we have, I would say it anywhere, one of the reasons why we have issues in Nigeria is because majority of us are unpatriotic and we don't actually love ourselves. Some of this inflation that we talk about, some of these things is self-inflicted in some areas. If you pick it one after the other, price of commodities in the market and all of this, there are people who are doing profiteering. And then people will say, go back to the government. Why is the government not, the government should have a price control board and all of this. I've asked people in Interland, I move around, at least, just like I've said, Southwest. I've been to remote areas, even in the last 1 week. And you ask, why is this thing expensive? And you look at it, people say, fuel is expensive, this thing is expensive. And you look at it and you ask people, how has fuel affected these things? And so when we say subsidy, like I said, there are the gains and the losses on Nigeria. And even when I say increase in revenue and increase in sharing of our allocation, it is expected that all this money that has been going to the state also gets to the people.
Now, obviously,
gets to the people.
If I may, yeah. Obviously, whatever you have termed as the gains now are being overshadowed by the negative part.
You know why it is overshadowed?
No, let me land so that you answer together. Because the pain has overshadowed everything that you feel.
How?
That you have, I will tell you, that you have talked about the gains. Now, but before I get there, I made mention of leadership is about vision.
Yes.
It's about having an understanding of your subject, of your work, of your KPIs, of your environment.
Yes.
Now, you and I know, we don't have to be President Bola Tinubu to know that there are certain things that when you do in this country, the reaction in the society, the community, is immediate and it can be negative. You are saying it's a people problem.
So that negative reaction, you blame it on the government?
Please hold on. The reaction, that character thing from the people, you are saying it's not a problem. We've rolled out our policy. How it impacts you is not a problem. Because that's
I never said so.
Hold on. And but a visionary person will know that the moment I do this, this is how the people are going to behave.
Which will still happen. Are you saying that you should have changed the behavior of the people, behavioral pattern of the people before you remove subsidy?
So that you answer together, if I may. These are some of the things I should do. Let me give you an example.
Okay.
If there will be a road construction at a very popular place,
yes,
at a very traffic-leading place, yes, you will see the moment there are diversions, a reasonable society, a reasonable local government and state chairman will put men of the road safety there, will put the VIOs there to control traffic, because they know the moment you leave people to be on their own, that place will be log jammed. That place, people will do anyhow, and that's the reason you put people in place to say, some will tell you this way, if you are going to Olaya, this way, if you are going to Shekono, this way. That's the way it should be. Okay. Now, out of his ego. Because
you mean the president should have changed the character of the people before he removed subsidy?
I'm not talking about character. He didn't have the benefit of the books. He didn't know what he was getting into. He announced an influential kind of decision without him knowing what is inside. And we are here right now. And you talked about money in the hands of the state government.
Yes.
In the hands of the federal government. How has this helped? Bola Tinubu came in on inflation rate of 22.17 or so.
Yes.
Today is above 30%, 33 reading or thereabout. And you are saying we have made a gain. And the people are crying. And you are saying it's people that are causing it.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Okay, say it.
There was nowhere I said people caused it. We talked about character.
You said inflation
no.
Is
I said some
by
of this. No. Please don't quote me wrong. Please. Don't say what I did not say.
Okay, say what you want.
I am on record.
Yeah.
What I said was some of this inflation, people are profiteering from it.
Okay.
I did not say inflation. When you quote that figure, I never said so. Everybody agreed that I said it here also, just now, that the rise in cost of PMS had led to inflation.
Right.
And I also said, I went back, I moved to that area where I said some of this inflation were caused by profiteering, and because Nigerians also want to take advantage of everything. Some. That's my word. I choose my word. So when I said that, see, the gains, and I mentioned that one of the pains is that PMS price was increased, and we know that once PMS price goes up, everything flies up in price of commodity in the market and all of that. And I said that, so I also said that when we look at the losses or the pains, we also look at the gains. And that's why I mentioned that there is more money in the hands of federal government, there is more money in the hands of state government, and there is more money in the hands of local government.
This money in the hands of these three tiers of government that we talked about, how has it helped the people?
That's what I said.
I'd like to ask.
My words also said that if all this money are judicially used, you might not remember that I said
No, I got everything you said.
Yes.
But I'm saying now that we have more money, and the money is more like you are taking the money, the system is taking the money off the people to enrich the government.
It's not taking the money off the people. This money increase, this increase came through the stoppage of fuel subsidy.
Who are the ones paying?
Government was paying subsidy to the few pockets of people.
Pay again.
We won't pay again.
Now,
so we have the money instead of this money going into the few pockets of Nigerians, which is subsidy, which is why the president said.
Let's do it one by one.
Okay.
Now that the government is no more paying subsidy,
yes,
and that they are saying we can't be spending what we don't have, we can't we can't be getting loans to do this.
Yes.
Now, for us to stop the payment of these things,
yes,
let it reflect the cost of the market.
We now have the
buying
money
and selling.
We now have, instead of us pushing out the money to people.
And that affected the pump price, isn't it?
Definitely.
Now, the people are paying more at the pump, right?
Yes.
Now, the money is accruing
to government.
To the buyers. And because, this is what I'm saying. Please hold on so that you get me rightly. It's not hard. We were buying at less than 200 naira before, 250 naira before.
Yes.
But because the government said we can no more pay this because we don't have the power, you don't want a country on loans and subsidy payments. Now let the direct cost of landing, the true reflection, be held, and Nigerians, instead of paying for 200 naira or 180 naira, 250 naira, they'll be paying for 600 naira. I mean, per liter now, 600 naira, 700 naira, means Nigerians are paying more. And the fact that they are paying more, what they are paying is being used, is reflecting as the real cost of petroleum. Nigerians are paying. Because the government will not pay again, they now have more money. Now, the more money they have, hold on, so that you just answer together. Federal government has more money. State has more money. Local government will have more money. Now, this money in the hands of different tiers of government, starting with the federal government, how has it reflected in the true wealth of the people?
Now, let me explain what I know about this subsidy payment. So when you buy fuel, don't forget, we said cost reflective now.
Yes.
So when you say cost reflective, who is in charge? NNPCL Limited. And so when you buy, the profits, first of all, goes into NNPC because NNPC is doing business. Yeah. That business is that they bring out crude, take to wherever they are refining, and it comes back. So what Nigerians are buying are cost reflective. So the money accrued to government in this case is not the money Nigerians are paying. The money accrued to government is that instead of we taking 1 trillion from our purse, that 1 trillion stays. So we are saying that 1 trillion, instead of we paying for subsidy, our 1 trillion stays. Now, as our 1 trillion stays, we share it between federal government, the state government, and the local government. Now, I made a statement. I said, that money being used judiciously. Right. And I think that's where your question goes, that how has it affected Nigeria?
The same question I'm asking.
I said that's the question you're asking now. Government has financial responsibilities, definitely, to do different things, infrastructures, to do hospitals, education, at every tier, and so on, to provide security, and so on and so forth.
Essential services.
And that's what government has been doing. We cannot say that in the last 1 year, the government at all tiers has not done anything. So whatever is accrued and being shared between the 3 tiers of government, and that's what the government has been using.
We're essentially saying almost the same thing now. That instead of the government paying 1 trillion from these coffers, the true reflection of the landing cost is what people are paying now. And Nigerians are the one paying for that.
Not to government.
Not to government, I mean the market.
Yes.
Now that the government has more money, Mr. Olalekan Oni, what I'm saying is this. Now that the government has more money, starting with the federal government, how has their own spending impact the lives of the people in a positive way?
When you say infrastructure, it impacts people. For example, so if government is building a road, for example, maybe federal government or state government, what it means is that if I'm building there's a road being constructed in Osogbo right now. What it means is that there will be local patronage. There will be money in the economy. Money in the economy, simply put, is that people will work on the site. For example, a contractor will get the job. People will work on the site. When people work on the site, when they are going home, they get money.
That same money they are getting now, because of the crazy inflation, it is almost meaningless for them.
No.
You know why?
Your money, no.
You get that money, but the value of the money has so much dropped that your 1,000 naira, this is what I'm saying, that could get you 2 items, so 3 items before, can hardly get you 1 item now. and you are saying people have more money.
No.
The inflation has taken away
Are you saying
the
that
value.
because, wait, are you saying that people, because there's inflation, people shouldn't get money again? People should just sit down? No.
The money they are getting, what is
Are
the
they
value?
getting money? Are you saying that you cannot just say, okay, now that there's inflation, now the bag of rice is 80,000 naira, don't buy rice again. You don't need money to buy rice again.
Can people buy the way they want?
But people can buy.
How many persons are buying? Do you live in our communities?
You said?
Do you live among the people?
No, I stay in the moon.
Okay, fine, fair enough. Maybe that's why you are talking this way.
Yes.
Because
are you saying that when people now work, they don't get money again? When they get that money, it's useless to them?
Let's be civil about this.
No.
What I'm saying is this. People are having money.
Yes.
Let's imagine, assuming without conceding, people are making money. But because of the inflation,
yes,
road is being constructed, people are working there, artisans are there, food sellers are there.
That's an example, yes.
Yeah, that's an example that you gave, which is the reality. You are correct on that. But the thing is, because of the situation of the economy, that same money, if they are making it last year, somebody collecting 10,000 naira, for example, can have 5, 6, 7 items. But now, because of the inflation, hardly can that person have 2 items. Before President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came in.
Don't also forget that the person collecting 10,000 naira last year for is not also collecting 10,000.
I will give you an opportunity to do that. Now, because you are my guest, you will have your time. So let me just ask the question now. The thing is, that 10,000 naira of last year that could get 2, 3, 4, 5 items.
The person is also not getting 10,000 again.
Inflation of
yes.
How do you mean the person is not getting inflation?
Yes, now.
How so?
So I have. Let me give an example. The truth.
Yeah.
You want to hear the truth?
Yeah.
That's
what we do here.
I have a project I'm also handling, and if you go to any artisans now, they don't collect what they collect last year again. Yes, that's the truth.
Are they better off? In clear conscience.
It depends.
No.
Wait.
It depends.
It depends.
Tell me.
Now, economically, Nigerians are not better off. But I am
saying.
So
what are we saying?
Wait now. I am also saying that we have bricklayers on site, right, for instance. That's a very good example. So as of last year, what we calculate is that, practical example now, what we calculate as of last year is that to do 100 blocks, for example, 100 blocks, a bricklayer will set 100 blocks, we were paying 7,000 naira, right, as for a bricklayer, and we'll pay 5,000 naira for labor. That's 12,000 naira. We now pay 17,000 naira. What I mean is that it has also jumped from 12,000 and so on. So if you call an artisan now, we bring artisans, we bring plumbers to the home, we bring different artisans. It is also not the same money they are earning last year before Bola Ahmed Tinubu came that they are earning also now.
Do you know many Nigerians will feel, if it's possible, that Bola Ahmed Tinubu returns us back to where we were before?
Almost all Nigerians, including myself.
Yeah, will say we are good.
Yes,
we are okay like
including
this.
myself.
Yeah.
But the reality of the day, the reality of the day is this. The reality of the day is this. It is almost impossible for us to return to that era because one thing. I personally don't see this government going back to the subsidy payment era.
Right.
What can happen is this. And one of the things where we have been seeing and visualizing is that if we can have reduction in the pump price, and one of the ways we can have this reduction in pump price is by the time we have refineries working. And that's what
the ones that is trying to work, some cabals are frustrating it.
That's IOCs.
Not IOCs. People in the NNPCL have been fingered.
And
we are in this country. We are in this country together, isn't it?
No, wait. People can be fingered anywhere. Yeah. Even you as a journalist, people can finger you. People can say that Mr. Femi is this, is bipartisan and all of
Mr.
that.
Olalekan,
so when you have all of these things,
more patriotically. Really.
You said?
I think we should be more patriotic when you're having this conversation.
Some of these conversations, sometimes people will also say that you are biased.
Okay.
People can say. You understand what I'm saying? People watching that, some of your viewers can say that you are biased.
You know the truth.
Isn't it? So some of the things you call the truth or a lie or defending, some people will say it's a lie.
No.
Some people will also say it is perception.
Mr. Olalekan, hold on. It's not my job to defend. It's not my job to the media.
But even as you, people will tell you are biased. We've had how hosts or presenters or media personalities have always been accused of being biased.
Not myself. You are
How
only
do you
making.
know?
They are only making.
No, you don't know. You don't
Let's
know
stay true on the
everybody
matter.
that is watching you.
Don't let's digress. Let's stay true on the matter. What I'm saying is this. Now you have said all of these things, and you have said you don't see us returning back to that era.
I'm not in charge. I'm only offering my opinion.
Yeah, you are talking about your opinion.
Yes.
That's why we are
Which
here.
I have the right
we
to.
value your opinion. That's why you are here.
Yes.
And so fair enough that you don't see us going back to that era because the ship has sailed, and you feel if we give this administration time, we will all get the benefit. We will all get the gain. And you still trust.
I said it earlier.
Yeah. I'm just saying it for the obvious there. But do you know that many persons have said that maybe these people in power, the administration, in fact, let me say it the way it is. We are the mirror of the society, the fourth estate of the realm. So we reflect the yearnings, the challenges, the things on the street that people are saying. And it is the thought of so many persons in town that maybe this is the most tone-deaf administration in the history of this nation. Tone-deaf. And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
That they keep telling us that these are essential, just like, Olubunmi Ojo, I will get to his matter very soon. He called it the pain of a bath, really. He has said it that, these are the things, pains of surgery. Yeah, you wouldn't say because you don't want somebody to feel pain and you won't remove a malignant tumor, you have to do that. The person will cry. The person might even beef you, the way we say in Nigeria.
Gave instances of countries, Singapore,
but they will get
all of that. Yes.
the pains later.
Even
but
China.
They said, Olubunmi Ojo talked about Lee Kuan Yew, in Singapore. Yes. Many persons will say, Lee Kuan Yew wasn't tone deaf, and I will explain what I mean. The people in government, everything they want, they get. Just listen. Everything they want, they get. But when it comes to the people, you are telling the people to hold on. Please bear the pain. Does it bother you? And I'm telling you the yearnings of the people that, many Nigerians believe the way you are believed that, let's trust Asiwaju, it meant the best. But you can't be telling people to hold on and feel the pain while your ostentatious lifestyle remains the same. Nothing has changed. Nothing. The fleet of cars you are having it. The president came out at a time, less than 6 months ago, and said he's going to cut down the numbers of people that can travel with him and his vice president and ministers. That has been a lie. It is a fact that is a lie. That hasn't been the case. In fact, just after that, he went to the UAE with his 2 sons, and Nigerians are angry. President, we believe in you. For those who do, you can't be doing that. 1.5 billion naira was voted for the office of the First Lady that is not known to our Constitution. That is a fact. The residence of the Vice President was renovated, completed, commissioned already. The damn barracks is being renovated, and many persons are saying, excuse me, how many times will the President or his Vice come to Lagos in a year? How many times can they do that? That there are some of these things that they are doing now that can wait. This will show that, yes, our leaders that are telling us to bear the pain, truly, they themselves, they are bearing the pain. There are things that they have cut off. There are things that they are not doing. Appointments keep flying out of everywhere. The government of Bola Tinubu talk about Orosanye report, merging agencies, removing some. The same Bola Tinubu has just created, the Ministry of Livestock, Livestock Ministry, and we are hearing development commissions here and there. Does it bother you that the administration is not leaving what they are telling the people to do? And I dare tell you, Mr. Olalekan, that is the grouse of many Nigerians to say, you don't tell us to just eat one time in a day because that's what we can afford, and you are throwing party. You are doing everything. Your families are traveling. What right asked the 2 sons of the president to go on an official trip? And when they were even being introduced on the protocol line, the 2 sons of the president were even standing before the ministers of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. How insensitive.
I have issues with that, with all that you have mentioned. Personally, I have issues with it. And one of my thoughts has been that I also don't have issues with Nigerians complaining and having issues with that. You can press home their demands.
That's fair, right?
Yes, why not? Even if that is not happening, people can still, there will be no government or administration will not be perfect.
For this particular one, all I've read out, they are fact, verifiable fact.
Have I said you are lying? I haven't said. I said I have issues with how you have rolled out.
Right.
And so people, that's why I said that people should press in their demands. And that's what you are doing. Part of what you are doing is that you are the fourth realm of the, the state of the nation.
Yeah.
So when people have all of these things, you aggregate them and bring it out in the media. And this is not the first time I'm hearing this. We've read it in papers, we've seen it on social media, heard it on TV, heard it on radio. And I think that things like this, complaints like this, should go on. And probably when it goes on, people will have, the government will sit down and reason. Some of these things, when you talk about cutting cost of governance, the president said the Oronsai report. And one of the things I want us to also look into is that if you are merging ministries or agencies together, it is not an order. An order means that you are merging ministries together. These things has process as well. So if I think that was said like 3 months ago or so, I can't remember precisely. So I hope and I believe that there will be process. The livestock ministry is still on paper. When you say you are creating a new ministry of livestock, it's still on paper. As we speak here this morning, the ministry is not in full glare. I saw this Atairu Jega meeting with the president last week and one other people and all of that. So what we have presently is still on paper. What that means is that if you are merging ministries or MDAs or parastatals together, there will be a process to it. It is not something you just wake up and say, we are stopping this today. No. So the merging altogether will be a process. And also, the Ministry of Livestock, it has not come to reality as we speak. Maybe tomorrow the ministry will be open.
Very well.
So people have the right to say, you told us that you cut the cost of governance.
Very well.
They are not doing it yet. People can ask questions.
And they ask the question.
Yes, they are free.
And you are part of the people who canvass for this government.
Yes.
To have, the president to have the mandate of the people. That's why I'm bringing out to say, are you proud of this?
Part of.
Are you proud of what is happening? Because it speaks to insincerity on behalf of the administration to say, you tell us to do something, you are doing exactly. And that is, and I'm saying this as a Nigerian now, not even as somebody, let me stick with it as a Nigerian. You will be upset yourself that a leader is telling you to do something and he's doing exactly. And that's the grouse of many Nigerians to say, we hope for the better. Asiwaju, you're not a poor man. You have never been a poor man. In fact, many persons thought some of these paraphernalia of office might not make sense to an Asiwaju. Because he has said it, and people know he's a man of himself. He has no godfather with the level that he has gotten to. So some of these things should not make sense to him. But then the reverse is the case. And that's why many persons are angry and they are venting. But then we'll speak about the protest is looming. I will go on a short break right now. When we'll come back, we'll speak to the protest to say, is it justified? With what we have seen so far, will Nigerians be given that slack to say, you guys, is it justified? How far can we go with this protest? We have been talking about President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, especially in the last 1 year, the promises he has made to the people. Is he keeping that promise himself? I've been speaking to Mr. Olalekan Oni. He's the convener of the Renewed Hope Media, and he has been letting me and letting you know his mind about these situations. We'll go on this break now. I'll be back.